Hammy index.
Hammy index.
8.4 today.
8.4.
8.4.
8.4 on the hammies.
8.4 on the Hammy index.
I love it. And then he's got to have to do real
Now
business.
he's doing some business, yeah. Look, he's talking about his
So great. He's got to get him in.
Oh,
get him done.
man,
Get him
that
rolling.
is good, yeah.
It's terrifying, though, and here's the other thing, like big picture-wise. We are 2 weeks in to the NFL season.
Yep.
Two teams that you and I both had in the postseason. One of the guy that you had MVP of the league. I had Miami winning the AFC East. Those two teams are now damaged for who knows how long. Their quarterbacks cooked. We had this last year with Rodgers early in the season. Cousins happened a little bit later. Obviously, Deshaun happened a little bit later, but Burrow happened a little bit later. But now you're talking about two teams who were exciting teams that you thought could make a real move in the AFC. I like this Miami team a lot. Now, who knows what happens there? It'll be Skylar Thompson there.
No, don't you think they go out and sign Ryan Tannehill? That's his kind of a rhythm-based throwing offense.
Well, I mean,
they've got to.
He
right?
said today they're going to stick with Skylar and they'll get somebody in the backup. Is what he said today.
They're going to play
They're
Skylar.
going to pay Skylar Thompson.
I think
he's been there a while. Maybe he's just saying it. Who knows?
I think they're going to sign Tannehill, and then he'll eventually be the starter.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. When's the last time Ryan played?
Last year, didn't he?
Where?
Didn't he start the year for Tennessee? Yeah,
Did
he played
he?
against us. Yeah. And then they turned
went
it over to Levis.
Okay, they went to Levis because I mean they drafted Willis to supplant him, and then they drafted Levis to supplant Willis and him. So did he? Yeah. Okay. So there you go. But yeah, maybe those type of things make sense, and maybe they can have it. But it's a different thing.
He's a former Dolphin.
Yeah, he is. It's a very different thing. Brian Hartline can thank him because that year that he had together with him in Miami got Brian paid.
The one where he had like a 200-yard game against the Cardinals.
Yeah, got Brian paid.
He started 8 games last year. 65% completions, 1,616 yards, 4 touchdowns, 7 picks. Lowest rating of his career, 78.5.
Yeah, Mike had put him in a good spot, and that's probably your best chance going forward. But the big point here is two teams who are exciting, who were playoff teams, who you thought could make some noise, now have to. I mean, Miami, who knows what that'll look? How long he may be done? He may be retired. He may never play another down of football in his life. Conversely, in Green Bay, they have to try and stay afloat with Love injured.
And they're lucky the schedule kind of lines up for them to be able to stay afloat and see what they can do.
It's terrifying, though, with him.
Yeah.
Also, I did not have Buffalo in the postseason. That's not looking so bright. Allen, if they had given him a modicum of help, just a little help, because he wasn't even great, and they won. They won pretty dominantly. The turnovers were a big part of that. James Cooks with the 3 touchdowns, huge, obviously. But they're not going anywhere. They are expertly coached, and Josh Allen, if they could win 11 or 12 games, that dude could win the MVP easy if he could get to there. So after this week, they get Jacksonville. Buffalo does. So I mean, they're 2-0 heading into the Jacksonville game. That's
they
a nice
were
spot.
not impressive in the game over Arizona.
No, but they weren't.
But won.
When they needed to be, they got down big in that, and he willed them back. And that's just part of it. They just know how to win.
They know how to win. I think there's a big part of that.
Yeah. So that is a tough spot. Gibby asking who's the team to beat in the AFC East. I think it's got to be Buffalo. It's got to be. They're 2-0. They've won it a lot. I like the Jets too. I really liked Miami. I like both of these teams. Jets, they got a fun one this week. They should roll. Are they at Tennessee or are they at Carolina? I think they're at Tennessee this week. I think the Jets are.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. So they should be awfully impressive. I'll be curious to see what Rodgers looks like against an operation like that where he should be able to spin it around and have a little bit of success. Want to see what that looks like before I crown him, but they certainly look pretty good. But the headliner here is obviously about Tua, and now it's about the AFC because this is a team, no matter who it is, Tannehill, whoever, they're not going to be what they were intending to be with Tua.
No, and a lot of people picked, like myself included, in certain drafts, picked Tyreek Hill first overall. Mm-hmm. That seems a bit daunting in fantasy right now.
So either he or McCaffrey went number 1. I think in probably every one. It was one of those two.
Or CD.
CD was in the mix. But I mean, those two seem most all the ones I did, the boys did. It was McCaffrey and then Tyreek 1, 2. And who knows when McCaffrey will play or be 100? Who knows? And then same thing now with this. Totally changes the way you view Tyreek Hill, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, brutal. But of course, the number one headline is you hope Tua is okay. And that's really the focus of it now because it's It is not fun to watch when he goes like that. It's quite honestly quite terrifying, to say the least. It's a fun week 2 in the league. Not as many home run hitters as there was a week ago, but still some good stuff out there too. And we will, of course, have the scores for you coming up at 1:30 on the program. Just set the table for us as we go into this thing. You're 0-1, they're 0-1. They probably feel like they should have won. I don't know anybody in our locker room who thinks we should have won in week 1.
Right.
After this, you have the Giants at home and then Vegas.
And then Washington.
So in this first tranche, unfortunately, we can't use it exactly because they're not equal, but we're still going to try.
We're going to use it. We're going to try.
Get to 2-2 is kind of I think that's minimum requirement. 1 and 3 would be tough sledding. 2-2 is very realistic for you. This would be a great one to get. It's an AFC game on the road against a team that you could be contending with for the playoffs.
This is a huge game. Yep. It's a big game for the Cleveland Browns because you win this one, and then all of a sudden you have a chance to be 4-1 because after that, your next 4 games are at Philly, home Cincinnati, home Baltimore, home Chargers, and it might be Baltimore, Cincy, Chargers, but those are the 4 teams that you play in that next kind of tranche.
Yep.
You gotta be well above 500 going into that tranche.
Yep.
And then you get a kind of an easy set coming out of the bye. You got 4 kind of good ones, and then 4 brutal ones at the end. Although Miami might not be maybe what we thought on Sunday Night Football. I can't imagine he plays again this year. And I as a human, I never want to see his body in that position again. It's just terrifying. Because I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either. I've seen a lot of guys get concussion. I've never seen anybody do that where they.
A lot of times you don't even know they got a concussion.
No.
Like Denzel at practice that day with Elijah. We saw it happen.
He walked up, got off, walked around. I didn't think anything of it. This was not that.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So that is kind of the overwhelming story coming out of the game last night. A lot of criticism of my guy Al on the call.
Why?
That he wasn't as enthusiastic as he needed to be on the first touchdown, on the James Cook touchdown. I'm like, dude, he's 79.
I thought he
was
funny.
great.
I thought he was dialed in.
I thought he was really good.
He was pretty dialed
Me
in.
too. And I think, look, like he's 79 years old, man. Like that's getting up there to be able to have a fastball all the time.
I think he was excellent. I have to say, and I don't know if this is, I'm not mean this as a criticism. I don't think it's not meant to be a criticism. I don't really know what it is. I didn't even notice Herb Street last night. Like I couldn't tell you one thing that he said.
Yeah, I mean he basically just like buttressed whatever Al was saying.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it was.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you could be pulled in all the places he's pulled and do a job the way that he's done it.
To know it.
There's no way he could know it well enough.
Right.
I think he can just talk in generalities about football, and I think obviously if any one of us were in that position and he were offered what Amazon offered him, you would all take it 10 times out of 10,
yeah.
in addition to what you're doing on ESPN. But there's no way that you can be in Ann Arbor, Michigan, prepping for Michigan against Texas, a game you're not even calling, and then have to go call Tennessee at NC State, and then call the Thursday nighter down in Miami, then go to game day in South Carolina to do that, then prep for LSU, South Carolina. And
yes.
These are huge rosters.
Huge.
You can't – and college football is huge, the amount of teams in it. So, no, you can't. Those are your hot topics today. Presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Jerome Ford with Dr. Z coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Brought to you by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio, and very happy to be joined by Browns running back Jerome Ford, who found the end zone in the season opener. For you, your most extended work in quite some time. What did it feel like to get back out there on the field?
It was fun to be out there with my teammates again, competing. We didn't get the job done. The outcome wasn't what we wanted, but we're going to learn from it, and we're going to work to play the Jaguars.
When you put the tape on, what are some of the things that you liked that you were able to do against the Dallas Cowboys, and what are some things that you want to work on getting ready for the Jags?
I like the way we ran the ball. We ran the ball pretty good. We were physical. I like that about us, and I liked our toughness. This week we just want to put it all together, consistently, and hopefully, be able to compete well against the Jaguars.
What did it feel like to get back into the end zone?
It felt great. Probably.
Obviously, you want to do it earlier in the game. You had different circumstances, sure, but a touchdown's a touchdown.
Right, touchdowns are touchdowns. You're right.
That's your 10th of your career. Not bad.
Oh, I didn't even know, but yes, it is.
All right, when you watch the Jags getting ready for them, it seems like in week one, a lot of man, and the Dolphins were able to get the ball to their running backs in space quite a bit and make some plays. Last year, you had 5 receiving touchdowns for the Browns, second on the team. What do you kind of see, and do you expect to have kind of a nice role, not only running, but catching the ball against this Jags team?
They're a great team, great up front, pretty much, great all around on defense. They got some players. Their front is really good. We just pretty much, like you said, looking to follow the game plan, whatever coach got in store, and execute. That's big, execute.
All right. I don't know if this is going to air today or if this is going to go tomorrow, but your birthday, 25. Happy birthday. Anything planned? Any kind of a celebration when you turn 25? It's a quarter of a century.
Thank you, but no, not really. We practiced today. I guess the only thing good about being 25 is not getting a young renter's fee when I rent cars. So.
Very practical, Jerome Ford. I like to hear that. How's the family doing? How are your kids?
Good. They're great. Getting adjusted to the little one. But
Sleeping?
I'm sleeping. I told you before I sleep in another room. But yeah, just continuing to when I get home, build that relationship with him. So he knows me. Right now, every time I pick him up, he crying for his mom. He cry real loud with me. As soon as I give him to her, he just quiet down. So.
Just so you know, don't take that personally. I had one of each. So I have a daughter and a son. They're obviously now 16 and almost 15. But it was the boys are mama's boys and the girls are daddy's girls. So don't take it personally.
Yeah, I was feeling a little bad, like dang, but I understand.
You understand. All right, take me in your running back room. You got Pierre, you got Deontay, and I know we're going to see all three of you as we get this season rolling. What's that room been like and being in there with Deuce Staley?
It's been fun. Fun, competing, intense. We competed everything, from, our favorite rappers, music, sports, favorite runners.
Who has the best taste?
Me, of course.
Who would you say is second then? Who has the most, in your mind, the best taste after you? Because obviously your taste is subjective. You're going to think it's the best.
Out of the running backs, say
yeah.
Nick.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's fun. Great room. We all close. We all feel like brothers. Same as with the rest of the team. But our group spend a lot more time together than the rest of the team. So we competing every day, looking to get better and challenge each other to get better every day.
What's probably the biggest message that Deuce gives you the most?
Just that he gonna pull it out of us every day. He gonna get 100%, and he gonna put us in position to make plays and be great. And like I told y'all before, he told us the day that he come in and he don't demand 100% out of us is the day he should just walk out and walk away from football. And he been true to it. Every day he come in with the same energy, demanding us to be good, run to the ball, finish, make leaving it all out on the practice field and making sure we get 100% out of football in general.
What's one thing that you think you do better now, or one thing you like about maybe the way you prepare better now because of Deuce Staley and kind of his wisdom and also his motivation and the demands that he makes of you guys?
Just that practice aspect of it, making sure you bursting out of the huddle, you running to the ball when the ball's caught, even if it's 20, 30 yards downfield, you get you a nice couple line bursts, running back to the huddle to get the next play, so we good. Just a little stuff like that, and in conditioning, You're not really conditioned until you play in that first game. And, going into that first game, I felt like, years past college, first couple years in the league, I come into that first game gassed, and it was a different story this year.
Maybe it's because of that 35-pound ball or whatever, however much of those footballs that you guys have been running around. That's pretty crazy.
that running after practice, the lines, it's all been helping. And, the intensity in which we do it, him demanding it and not accepting us, loafing and lacking around, it's been a real help.
I know you guys flushed what happened in Dallas. How eager are you to get back out there and show what this team can be?
Oh, yeah, we ready. Like you said, week 1 wasn't the best, but we looking
1 of 17.
Right, like you said, 1 of 17, and we looking to get a fan something to be proud of and get a win.
Jerome, thanks for the time. Happy birthday and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff out of Z there. The birthday boy, Jerome Ford, last week, 19 touches, 69 yards, and that touchdown. Of course, much of that happening in the second half of the game. We'll have to establish him earlier and more often this week down in Jacksonville. We'll assume that would be the plan. Leaf Filter is the official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. Go to leaffilter.com/GoBrowns to schedule your free gutter inspection and to receive your exclusive promo offer, or call 833-LEAF-FILTER today for more.
Coach should be at the podium here in just a second.
Okay.
Jack Conklin officially questionable. Jedrick Wills out.
Man. Conklin questionable. Man, Jed, we would not have thought this, that going into the second week of the season, still an out designation for Jedrick Wills. He had practiced earlier in the week, and I saw some of the beat reporters talking about the fact that he did not have the knee brace on while he was practicing. Leads you optimistic that potentially there would be some good comes out of it, but still down for Jed Wills. That's something there. Everybody else is good to go, though, other than Chief.
Yeah.
It seems.
It appears. I don't think anybody else is on that list.
All right,
So.
and as Gibbe mentioned, we'll have Coach Stefanski at the podium. Practice is wrapped up. He's making his way into the interview room there to get an update on things. This is a monster game for both of these teams. The loss to Dallas certainly stings. Remember, in 2020, the Browns were absolutely whipped by Baltimore and then rebounded the next week. Let's hope that a similar thing can happen Sunday down in Jacksonville. I think we can go to the podium now and Coach Stefanski.
Tomorrow,
You're down.
with some weather potentially down there, calling for maybe some rain. We know it'll be warm and humid. It's been good that it's been warm up here this week, but got to play a clean football game to get a win on the road against a good football team. So spent a lot of time this week getting our offense, defense, special teams really understanding their assignments so we can go do our job at a high level. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Kevin, have you made up your mind yet? I know Jack was listed this question, but have you made up your mind yet on who's going to start left tackle?
No, and we'll use the next 24 hours, 48 hours, see how everybody comes out of practice today before we make that determination.
Was Jack able to do more this week than last week?
Yes.
And with Miles and Za'Darius, I know they're due to go. Why didn't they practice yesterday? How did it look?
Yeah, a couple things popped up with them. Weren't able to go yesterday. Were able to go today.
With Miles Harden, just when did injuries pop up? Obviously,
Yeah, it happened in practice. Unfortunate, really, but just happened in a, kind of a weird deal. But feel bad for the kid.
Did Jack look a lot stronger in practice this week than he did?
I think anybody, Mary Kay, that's coming off of an injury with more reps, you continue to feel more confident and comfortable and move better. All those things with more reps. Yeah. Take out Jack, place Jed in that previous sentence. And you save space on the J.
How do you think your team sort of refocused and kind of came together after that loss and after all the Deshaun stuff?
That's the NFL, Mary Kay, where there's always going to be, adversity, and nobody likes to lose. It happens in the league, and you got to learn from it and move on.
Kevin, at any point during camp or recently, have you ever considered moving DeJuan Jones to the left side, or do you like having that stability over on the right side?
Yeah, we've considered every option, Dan, to your question, but feel good about him at the right side.
Swaim, you signed him on to the practice squad. Is he option one to potentially be elevated? And beyond that, just what do you like about him that potentially could make him that option?
Yeah, we'll see as we get closer. We'll make those type of determinations. He's got some familiarity in our system, as does Whitehart. They both were in Arizona previously, so there's some similarities still that they can pick up. Jeff Swaim was my favorite tight end in the 2015 draft for a late tight end, undrafted free agent. I was a tight end coach in Minnesota, so I've been trying to get this reunion forever. So we finally got Jeff in the building, but got to talk to him, and I was recruiting him very hard. And then I think Dallas messed it up and drafted him in the 7th round. But I just met him for the first time since 2015. So, but he's doing a great job. Very smart, works very hard. But we'll see how it shakes out this week.
Amari said that you told the team to respond properly in terms of, coming at this game with a sense of urgency. What does that look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think big message for me with our team is always you don't ever want to overreact, but you really don't want to underreact either. You want to make sure that what you need to get fixed, you get fixed with urgency. So that's really been our message, and that's really a message every year. Whenever you get an outcome that you don't want, that you didn't desire, you got to do something about it. So that's what we have used this week, trying to fix some of those mistakes, clean up some of those things, and then be able to play our best football on Sunday.
Kevin, yesterday Bubba talked about more effort across the board. I think Amari used the word urgency too. I guess, how do you feel like the guys have responded with that this week? Is there more fire or anything coming off of this loss?
Yeah, again, for us, every game, I talked about this yesterday, every game is really, really important, and you guys have heard it before, but it's not a marathon, it's 17 sprints, and we have a sprint this week that we have to put everything into, and that comes from a mental toll, a physical toll, all those things. So that's just the NFL. They come at you every single week. I think the guys understand what that entails.
I know he's a vet and he practices like this all the time, but for Jordan Akins, how have you seen him maybe approach this week knowing that David is out and you guys might run on him a little bit heavier?
Sure. Jordan's a guy now going into year 2 with us, has a great feel for what we're doing, really talented in a bunch of different areas, and has played teams for us, so potentially a bigger role for him. I think he's ready for that.
I know he used to be a receiver, I think, in college, and you mentioned when I talked to him about stretching the field. Does he have that ability?
You're saying Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan, yeah. To get down the middle.
He's a talent. Yes, he's a talented pass catcher. Yes, but he does a lot of jobs for us.
Did Schwartz tell you the story about when he was a head coach and he addressed 0-1 versus 1-0?
He did. I've heard all Coach Schwartz's stories. I've heard them all. Coach's office is right next to mine, so there's a lot of story time, and he has great insight. I mean, that's story and many others that I'm fortunate to get from Coach and get his perspective, because he does have a unique perspective, but he's been around this league in a bunch of different buildings, a bunch of different teams. He's played different roles, so his insight in a lot of ways is invaluable.
You know he was a little off on that one?
Was it? You fact-checked him, Mary Kay? Don't fact-check. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Do you sort of subscribe to the same belief, though, that, in some sense, 0-1 there's a silver lining in that you kind of got to look in the mirror immediately?
I think as football coaches, we're looking to message any which way we can.
Campbell and Savage both look like they're out or will be out for Jacksonville. How does that alter their secondary, and what do you know about the guys kind of behind them?
Yeah, that's part of our job as coaches, and we have a great scouting department here to get us ready for the potential backups in those situations. I don't know that both have been officially ruled out, but if they are, we know who the candidates are that could go in there, and you study those players, and you make sure your players understand those players, how they play, what their strengths are, those type of things.
What made Jeff your guy back on draft day?
I'm sorry?
What made Jeff your guy back on draft day?
Yeah, we were looking for a kind of do-everything tight end, dirty work, tough guy. I think he was at Texas, didn't have a bunch of catches, but we kind of liked what we saw on tape. And as you guys know, I'm sure, just as position coaches, you do a lot of recruiting pre-draft with a message of, hey, if you're not drafted, we'd love to have you, and here's why. So he was that guy for me, and then Dal screwed it up.
Good?
Okay, thanks, guys.
You guys are up.
All right, there you go. Coach Stefanski from the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience packages today for the ultimate game day. We hit some over-unders and recap everything we just heard from Coach. Coming up next, you listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Valley Bet. Sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Dog Pound, dig into Wendy's new Browns Biggie Bundle all season long. Score a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nuggets, Junior Fries, small soft drink, and a small Frosty for $7. Here we go, Brownies. Grab one for any participating Wendy's for a limited time. You heard Coach Stefanski at the podium there. Kind of the big question on everyone's mind is left tackle. We did get the designation on Jed Wills as out. We got the designation on Jack Conklin as questionable. Coach was asked directly, like, how do you see this going on Sunday? No direct answer. Classic. We'll see how it goes on Sunday is kind of the approach that he went with.
Yeah, I think to be Captain Obvious, you're going to lay out the options, right? James Hudson starts again. Jack Conklin makes his first start at left tackle in the league, or, James Hudson starts and maybe you get Conklin some reps in the game, trade out series or whatever. I'll be curious to see which way it goes. I think I think Conklin's come a long way. I'm not ready to say that it's going to be Jack Conklin yet. I think probably they'll err on the side of caution with him, but I would love to see him at least get some work so that when he is ready to take over full-time, he's at least had some game reps. So my guess is Hudson, and then you'll end up seeing, if and how much you see of Jack Conklin.
Yeah, because the thing with Jack, you think about how hard he's worked back. I remember seeing him out there by himself, going through kind of the drills and working through left tackle. That was the last week of camp. So,
right.
But up until that point, he was doing nothing. So, he's having to build into health is what he's doing. And, again, this is a long, long season, and you want to make sure that your offensive line can be the best that it can be for the longest period of time. And, honestly, Hudson was fine last week. It wasn't great, but it also wasn't like a swinging gate.
No, he was
over there.
He was about, kind of what you expected him to have some struggles and, gave up 6 pressures in the game. We've got to be in better down and distances, and that'll help James Hudson as well as it helps the quarterback.
We were behind the sticks in every possible way in the game last week.
Yes.
Literally behind the sticks, and then figuratively in case you're chasing the game. I know we'll get to the keys and all of that a little bit later, but that offensive line, it's going to start there. You interviewed Jerome Ford. We've got to be able to run the ball in the first half of this game.
Yep.
In this heat, in the slop, it could be very sloppy. This could be a really ugly game, and so it'll be ball possession, and it'll be an ability to control some clock and run it a little bit. That's going to be the opportunity there.
Well, I think if you can get yourself into good positions, you can absolutely attack the secondary of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that has got to be the game plan. Get yourself into second and shorts, then attack this defense vertically, and I think you can do that. Our receivers are going to get open against their corners. I have no doubt about that. The question will be, can we protect long enough, and then can we see it and deliver the football accurately like we need to do?
That's the job. And if you do so, you can get out of Jacksonville rather with a win. We did get a direct question from Robert down in Columbus. His wife and himself, they booked an impromptu trip to Jacksonville. Need some advice on restaurants or good spots for Saturday through Monday, staying at the Hyatt Regency Riverfront. So he's downtown, right? Hyatt Regency Riverfront, that's downtown, right?
Yeah.
The best is Jack's Beach is the best. There was. I haven't been there in a long time, but when I was there for all of the social and fun, you'd go out to Jack's Beach. That's where you'd go.
We ate on a rooftop. Area. We had a fantastic dinner on a rooftop
downtown
when we were there for multiple days. That's when we couldn't get out because our plane had issues and they had to send for another charter from Hawaii.
I'm pretty sure it was the Calford Chop House or Marker 32, Chop House 13.
I don't know.
He's got a great hotel. I'll give him that.
Hold on, I'll figure this out. I know I'm gonna be able to. I'll be able to figure this out.
Downtown Jacksonville has changed a ton since I was there. They used to have this thing called the Landing. Does that still exist? Jack's Landing.
We were down there and went out and then went to dinner, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't a whole lot going on there.
No, it's quiet. I want to say it's the largest city in the United States by area, not population, by area, because I think all of the county is Jacksonville. The whole county is Jacksonville City. I think that's the deal with Jacksonville. I think it's the largest land area.
Was it River and Post
that we went to?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to find it. I am going to find it. Gibby, don't you worry.
No, that looks no. I don't think we went to that one.
Yeah, Duval County, largest city by area in the United States.
This would have been 2022, right, Gibby?
Good job to me.
Here we go. Got it. Cowford's Chop House. I was right. Cowford's Chop House. And it was very good. So that's good. The only place that I can say that I've eaten, and that's what I'm recommending.
Yeah, and then if you're down there Saturday, then you can get out to Ponte Vedra if you want. So the World Golf Hall of Fame is down there in that area. You could do that.
Check that out.
Jags
And
Beach is cool.
There's a good restaurant out there as well. Hold on one second.
Every time that I've been there, and even the first time that I was there, I always felt it was just absolutely incredible that in the mid-'90s somebody said, let's put an NFL team here.
It's wild.
Among the other options.
1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is another one. That's out there by Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra.
Out in that area.
But that's supposed to be very, very good.
Yeah. It's a cool place. It's on the water, and it's on the river. The downtown's on the river, the St. James River, and then you can go on the water if you go to Jags Beach. It's just really spread out. Just the population's everywhere, but there's plenty of fun to be had, and it's gonna be hot and rainy is the other part of it. The good news with Florida rain though is like it'll pour for a half hour and then it stops.
It's gonna be.
I don't know if that's what we're getting here.
Humid.
Josh saying back in the day, Black Sheep was great in Jacksonville. I can't speak to that, but Josh is a good man, and he knows what he's doing. So we'll see.
He's a good man,
thorough.
thorough.
We're all that. Very, very thorough. Should be a fun one. There you go. Enough from the clown. Yeah, I did have that. Largest city by pure area in the country. All right, time for a little over-unders. Is Gibby, Gibby's, are you on the over-under? No, not yet. Not yet. He's wrapping up. Gibby is off to a 3-3 start in his over-unders experience.
I'll just say that Gibby's +1 against me. We don't need to really get into the,
you have to get into the results
numbers. And I'm so annoyed because I just should have. I knew it was going to go over. I said it as much, and I just, for the sake of being different, I would have reaped. I can't take it back because I would have reaped the benefits had it gone. I've been like, yeah, well, I did have that.
You did have that.
I did think it was going over, and it did.
It did. He's almost done. We're wrapping up. He's got some notes. Gibby's got some notes. So I believe he's taped with Siciliano and Coach right there, right?
It seemed that way.
That's what he's got going on.
Sorry.
You're fine. You got a few.
There we go.
You got a few
irons
plates
in the fire,
air, brothers.
Hey, let's go back. I'm 1-0, right?
You are 1-0. That's right.
There you
You're
go.
1-0.
That's all that matters.
You get a nice. You got a 1-game lead on Dr. Z. These are difficult because of many things. Number one, you got a small sample size. Number two, I don't know what this weather's going to be. So this could be something that dramatically affects the style of play. If it's monsoon season down there,
I don't think it's
really tough.
I don't think it's going to be.
Rain is consistent and steady in the forecast, but
for Sunday.
For the week from now until Sunday, it's 90%, 88, 88.
So you should look at the hourly forecast Sunday in Jacksonville. It's not.
It doesn't look great. No.
It's like 70 to 80%. It's not the 30 or 40 where you're like, there's a good chance we won't get anything.
Reddit work wants to know, where does this work rank in terms of road trips for you and Gibbe, 1 to 10, 10 being the best?
Armpit of America.
3.
Yeah.
There's several. I mean, look, here's the positives. If this were in November, awesome.
Yes.
Get some
it
sun.
It might be a 5 or 6.
Then it's much higher. Here's the other thing it's got going for it. It's close, relatively.
Yep.
As road trips go, it's an easy flight. Nice to get to, fine. Easy to get around town.
Yep.
Very easy. Do you guys fly out of the main airport there? So you have to go way north? Almost damn near Georgia line.
I was going to say, Zagura, I remember that
takes a long
from the
time.
last time we played there. It takes a while to get there.
It's a hoof. I used to fly out of there sometimes, and when you make that turn, you feel like you're going in, and then it's like 20 miles. It feels like up to get to that airport. So, but it's a fine place. It's fine. All right, here we go. Your over-unders. Dr. Z, actually, you went first last week, so Gibby goes first this week, and we're going to start with Trevor Lawrence. Try to get creative with this. So you need to hit on – you can either hit on both of these or none of these. So over-under – I'm going to give you 2 statistical things Lawrence has to hit, and you can say over both or under both. Okay? Got to be both. If he misses on one, then you get it. So it's a halfer for you guys if he misses on one of them. The numbers we're looking for, if that makes any sense. 225.
No, I'm completely confused.
Trevor Lawrence, 225 yards passing and 61% completions. So over or under that.
How many yards?
225 total yards.
Total yards?
Total yards.
Rushing included.
Rushing included, yep. And 61%. He was 56 and 127 last week against Miami.
I'm going to go under just because of that second number, that completion percentage. I think the total number of yards is going to be right around that, probably. Yeah.
He's
talented.
So you
he's
going to
get
right
his.
on one of them?
You got to be right on one of them. I'm giving you a half. Over 61 and 225.
So it's possible we both could win this.
You both could win it, even if you both. No,
the
no,
opposites.
No. Well, I don't know. We'll think through it in the break.
What if he throws for 220 yards, but completes 65% of his passes?
He's got to get both. So if you say over, then you got to get both. So if you say over, then he's got to be over 225 and 61. Gibby went under, so he's got to be under 225 and under 61.
But there is a world
there is a world where it couldn't collide, and at that point we go cross-eyed. Over under. Pick it.
Why don't we just pick one of the two?
Because I wanted to add two. Go ahead, pick one.
I went under.
I'll say under as well. That way,
under.
This
Next,
won't matter. You won't even have to look at this.
Over.
We won't have to make any sense.
Deshaun Watson total yards 200.
Over. Hard over. No team gave up more passing yards in Week 1 of the National Football League than the 319 by the Jags.
It has to be over for us to be 1-1 on Monday morning.
What was he? He was 169 last week on 45 attempts.
But what was he total yards?
He was at 209.
Yeah.
Over.
209. Over. Next.
Over. Under.
All right, Gibby. We're going to go receiver running back combo. Etienne and Brian Thomas. Over under Jerome Ford and Amari Cooper. Total yards. Total yards.
I'm going with our guys.
So under Etienne and Thomas.
Same.
All right.
This is not fun. We need to
that
figure
running
out some
back
more
by
differences.
committee thing in Jacksonville.
I know. They're
don't
all
know.
locked in together. I don't like it. Next.
Over. Under.
Sacks, interceptions, fumbles. Zagura, the number is 4.5. He was sacked 3 times last week against Miami and also threw a pick. So that would be 4. That would be just under. 4.5. We got him 3 times on the picks last time alone.
And 4 sacks. It was 7 last time.
Well over.
Yeah. I'm going to go under. I think we're going to get to 4.
All right.
I'm going over.
Yeah, man. All right.
We make it right this week.
All right. Next.
Over. Under.
The actual 41.5.
Ugh. Wasn't it 40 last week? Wasn't it the same thing last
It's
week?
40.5.
I'm going over.
Way over.
Way
Okay.
over. All right, there you go. So you guys got one different this week on that. We'll see how it goes.
I'll be
See
2-0.
how it goes.
It'll be great.
Be something if you win them both by just one. Be something.
You're either going to be up 2 or it's going to be tied. I mean, that's
Those are your 2 options.
Those are the
It's as simple
options.
as that.
Yeah.
All right, Hanford Dixon coming up next. Final hour of the program. The scores as well. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns. Now live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, second hour here on a Football Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. Elk and Elk Serious Lawyers. Serious injuries, call 1-800-ELK Ohio for a free case review. Elk and Elk is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. As we head on the Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea Hotline, brought to you by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. It is Browns legend, the top dog, Hanford Dixon, joining us there. Hanford, thank you so much for taking the time. Let's go back to your playing career, and there were probably a couple of instances where maybe you guys got off to a slow start. How were you guys able to, in those instances, compartmentalize it, move on, and try to have success in week 2?
Well, I think what they got to do, obviously, lost a game, our home opener, a game that everybody thought we was going to win. If anybody would have polled me and asked me, did I think we were going to lose that game against Dallas, I would have told them probably no. You've lost your mind, especially we're playing at home. But you just got to forget about it. I mean, we got a game coming up this week. Obviously, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars in their place. And everybody's just got during the whole week of preparation, you don't point the fingers at anybody. You look yourself in the mirror and you say, what could I have done to win that ball game? And let's make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's what everybody did. I think everybody I'm pretty sure Stefanski got everybody to just jump in and let's go to work and let's concentrate on the Jaguars and let's get this one.
And they've got to get this one, Hanford. They got to get back to 1-1. And just, from an offensive standpoint, those early down struggles and penalties put them in 3rd and longs. And take me back to your days out there. If you knew a team was in 3rd and long and they had to be throwing the ball and you knew that your guys could get pressure on them, that's when defenses feast, right?
Hey Nathan, you see me start laughing
I know.
as soon as you said that, but you are exactly right because it just there's so many things that you could do, and obviously you can lighten up the defense a little bit because all you're going to let them do is you're going to let them catch something underneath, and the most important thing when you do that is just make the tackle. But it was just crazy some of the things that was happening. To our football team, talking about all the penalties. I'm sure that you guys have mentioned, and the 6 sacks and the numbers of pressures that they put on him, and it was just a crazy game, and I just couldn't figure it out. And again, we didn't play well in all phases. I think we had like a 60-yard punt return on the special teams, but that's all right. That's that's over. It's done with. Let's get it out of the way, and again, let's concentrate and let's go after these Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't care where we play them at. Let's do it.
Well, knowing the Browns Nation, Hanford, I would think there'd be a lot of brown and orange down there on Sunday, knowing the way that Browns fans travel. I would think you'd get a lot of woofing Sunday down in Jacksonville.
And I agree with you. You look at Dallas, for instance. We played them. They're a team that travel well, but we're also a team that travel very well. I was a little bit shocked that in the stadium, I was hearing some chants. Here we go, Cowboys. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is this? I was kind of upset about that, but that's all right. We got to do the same thing to them. But you are exactly right. We're a team. We travel well. And the Dogs will show up for this one because I think the fans and the players, they pretty much feed off each other, and the fans in Cleveland are very knowledgeable. They understand and know that this team needs them this weekend, and I guarantee you they're going to show up. As Gerard says, show up and show out.
Gerard certainly does say that, and that is what they've got to do. And then hopefully they'll come back, and then on Monday, September the 16th, Huntington Bank Field, it is the time for the Taste of the Browns, joining the Greater Cleveland Food Bank and the Browns in celebrating 26 years of our city's love of sports and our acclaimed culinary talents. It's presented by NOCO as the major annual fundraiser for the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, the region's largest hunger relief organization, raising more than $4 million since 1999, and every dollar raised helps the food bank provide 3 nutritious meals to the community. You are the co-chairs, yourself, the top dog, Hanford Dixon, Browns All-Pro guard Joel Batonio, and Chef Rocco Whalen of Fahrenheit. So you're going to have a lot of Browns players, alumni. You're going to have some of the finest restaurants from the region, including Blue Point Grill, Sora, Fahrenheit, Lago, East Bank, and Morton's The Steakhouse. It's going to be an incredible event, Hanford, and how excited are you for the Taste of the Browns?
I am really, really excited, and just like you said, Nathan, a lot of people don't realize this is the food bank biggest biggest charitable event that they put on. And that's why I encourage everybody to really come up and show out for this, be there for this one. And there's still tickets available. All they have to do is go to the www.greaterclevelandfoodbank.org/taste and pick up those tickets. And then also, Nathan, they also will have an opportunity there to get their picture taken with me and my co-host talking about Joe Petonio. And while the winner holds a personalized, they will get a chance to win an official Browns helmet, and you can only win that at this event. So it's gonna be nice. But I like the mingling with all the players and with the alumni and the players, because there's a couple of guys I always like that's on the present roster to pick their brain a little bit.
Well, that's always the fun, right?
Yep.
And that's that family, that's that brotherhood. You put on this uniform, and there's so many of you guys that have been around here from your era, Hanford. But that's something that makes it so special. It's that it really is a bond that'll last a lifetime.
Yeah, it really is. And guys, I was down at the food bank earlier this week, and it's just amazing what they do there. Nathan, I think you mentioned this, but last year they provided food to just over 400,000 neighbors right here in Northeast Ohio. I mean, just amazing what they do. And again, please, guys, come out, because it's going to be a good time, because it's going to be just after a win, right after we beat the Jacksonville Jags.
That's right,
which is going to be great. And there's
a true Victory Monday.
It will be a Victory Monday and tons to celebrate. Good cause to help. It will be held in the 7-Up City Club at Huntington Bank Field from 6 to 9. Tickets are inclusive of all food and beverages, a complimentary souvenir glass, and valet parking. The Club 25 VIP lounge features exclusive food and beverage tastings along with mingling with Cleveland Browns players and alumni. The special teams experience ticket includes the benefits of the previous ticket level, as well as exclusive access to the Key Bank Club for an intimate social hour with sponsors from 5 to 6:30. All proceeds, again, visit the Cleveland Food Bank. And if you want to go, log on to clevelandbrowns.com/community for a link to purchase tickets and to sign up for the silent auction. And I'm looking at the silent auction, and I'll tell you what, guys, we're on it.
Are we on it?
There's a Cleveland Browns daily sit-in right now. It's got a bid, $500. Let's go. So people are able to come and hang with us. There's artwork of the top dog, Hanford Dixon, as well. You've got Amari football, Denzel jersey, Miles helmet, Chief football, Nick Chubb signed jersey, Dixon and Batonio print, some art of the top dog. Top dog, you might have to get that for your home here.
No, you know what I want to win? I want to win that Miles. That's what I want. I want that Miles gear.
You want? People top dog. Yeah, well, good.
I feel like we can get that.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Listen, the good news is it's going to help. It's going to help everybody. And then for all the restaurants, there's an Alley Cat auction, and Edwin's, which is an incredible restaurant down in Shaker, Fahrenheit, Luca West. All of it. Lots of good opportunities to come out, cool events, cool prizes, and as you said, mingle with the top dog, other Browns players, and eat delicious food from Cleveland.
Did you guys see that golf trip? There's
Pikewood?
There's an exclusive private golf course in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Pikewood.
I've heard about this joint.
It's supposed to be the best. It's one of the best courses in the country, supposedly.
Yeah. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's already up at
there's just
2,500.
All right.
It's a one-of-a-kind experience, though.
There we go.
But you know what the problem is, when you win that one and go play that course, you got to have a handicap like Nathan.
You're not wrong.
Digit.
My buddy went there. The great cook went there and said that it was the hardest course he's ever played. So
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's in the hills in Morgantown.
Oh, boy.
Beautiful views.
100 greatest golf courses in America. That's beautiful.
It's good.
Oh, that's awesome. The event will be 7-Up City Club at Huntington Bank Field. It's 6 to 9. Tickets inclusive of all food and beverages, complimentary souvenir glasses, valet parking. The Club 25 VIP lounge features exclusive food and beverage tastings along with mingling with Cleveland Browns players and alumni. The special teams experience ticket includes benefits of previous ticket levels as well as exclusive access to the Key Bank Club for intimate social hour with sponsors from 5 to 6:30. All proceeds to the food bank. For tickets, log to clevelandbrowns.com/community for a link for purchasing tickets and to sign up for the silent auction. So there you go. Top Dog will be there. This is going to be awesome, buddy.
Hey, real quick, let me ask you guys. Did you guys like that new name of the stadium down there in Jacksonville?
What is it, Trevor Bank?
Trevor Bank Field.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're going to name a stadium that, you better play well if you're him, right, Hanford?
Guy's lost his last 6 starts in a row.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Top Dog.
Great stuff. The Top Dog and the 26th annual Taste of the Browns, Monday night, 6 to 9, Huntington Bank Field. He is the co-chair of the event with Petonio and Chef Rocco, and there you go. Silent auction looks good, huh?
Silent auction looks quite good. Just going through it from a golf standpoint, you got Pikewood National, Sandridge out there.
Yep.
The Cleveland Browns daily sit-in, a Chomps party appearance. Nobody's bid on that. Maybe for young Bootsy.
Bootsy would love that operation.
Browns tickets and press box seats. This is one Besties and Browns game day experience. So this is you get 4 tickets to the Browns-Chiefs game. You arrive at the stadium, head directly to the sideline for pregame festivities. You head to your seats, enjoy kickoff. You get Browns-branded purses, Great Lakes Brewing cards, Starbucks tumbler and coffee set, and Kendra Danielle Gold statement earrings in dichroic glass. This is...
Is that a whole, hey, maybe the Swiftie will be
maybe.
here
Well, that one's already up to $18.35, which means that's a lot of meals for people in Cleveland. So that's an attention getter there. There's no doubt. Chef's table at Fahrenheit with Rocco. That's awesome. Chef's dinner at Edwin's. That'll be... If you are a person who likes very good French food, like a classically trained chef, Brandon's unbelievable, and he's got
What's his
access to Edwin's.
Edwin's. I've not been there.
No, yeah, you got to go. Edwin's, it's on Shaker Square, and he has access to a Bordeaux wine list that maybe only he has access to in Cleveland.
Very nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get the pressed duck. They take a whole duck, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fillet it off, get all the most of the meat off of it, and then they press it, the rest that's left in a press, and get all the juices and blood and everything out.
Sure.
And they make a rich sauce out of that goes on the duck. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen and delectable.
I don't know that I could do a duck.
Yeah, a duck's great.
Why not?
I do duck on the reg.
I'm usually anti-duck.
Really?
You've never had my duck.
No, you're right. I've not had your duck.
We haven't had your
I've had
transformative
duck.
turkey.
No, we haven't had that either.
Just big teases.
Yeah.
I don't know about. I had duck once as a kid, and it was not good.
Oh, dude, I'll make you a great duck. I'll blow your mind. I'm gonna change your life.
All right. And when they do it, when you do like a cooked duck, it's the white ducks, right? It's not the little mallards. I think it's the white ducks with the orange beaks.
I like a magret duck breast. That's what I make, dude. It's unbelievable in the sous vide. You get that crispy skin. Oh my goodness!
By the way,
blow your mind.
while we're talking about food, we saw a new chowder in the cafe today.
Give it to me.
What was the
Oh
name
yeah,
of that
it's a
chowder?
white duck, orange beak. That's what I thought. Yeah, you're not getting mallards. Wasn't gonna be that. What was the cream of what was the soup down there?
It was some kind of chowder.
Minorcan clam chowder. So
It's got bacon in it. That's what they kept trying to sell.
No. So it's about the datil pepper is what makes it Minorcan. So
It's more red. It's a red.
It's a
chowder.
red, but it's not. The difference between that and Manhattan is it has this datil pepper that is a staple of Minorcan cooking, which is from Minorca, an island off of Spain. A lot of those people moved to St. Augustine, Florida in the 1700s, and they have Minorcan cuisine, apparently. I'd never seen Minorcan clam chowder in my
Tony
life.
Bourdain.
Yeah, well.
Like you just get the full.
There you go.
You need to know.
Well, I had to look into this because I said I don't understand why this is.
Minorcan
I never heard of
clam chowder.
I was today years old when I heard about Minorcan clam chowder.
And there's no crema.
No crema. It's a red chowder.
Yeah. So you don't like clam chowder.
But I do. That's what Blue K. I know. Miss K. The biggest fight I've ever gotten with Miss K was at Pier W when I ordered a clam chowder. To be fair, hold on. I've told this story to both of you multiple times.
I think I'll side with Miss K. My initial feeling is I'm siding with Miss K on this.
When I was a kid, okay, in the Bay Area.
This is where the trauma comes with the eggs and the mayo and all
that. No. When I was in the Bay Area. Well, yes. Yes, the eggs. Oh, God, that was the hard-boiled eggs at the at my little preschool or whatever.
Little Nate going into preschool, and they want you to suck down eggs.
Have another
it's
one.
Like Napoleon Dynamite. Like it was like, here's the lunch, hard-boiled eggs.
Disgusting.
One after another to every kid.
Gosh.
The hell school was Pedro sending you to? Where they were serving you up hard-boiled eggs all the time.
I don't know.
No kid wants a hard-boiled egg.
No,
Come
it's
on.
disgusting.
We got to toughen him up. Just feed him hard-boiled eggs.
One thing that I was like kind of a family tradition was we would go into the city and go to, like Pier 39, and you would get, and I didn't have an option, you'd get a clam chowder in a sourdough bread bowl.
Okay.
And so it was a fun family memory. I liked clam chowder. I prefer a thinner one. I don't like a super creamy clam chowder.
Yeah.
I like it to be white, but a little more brothy than it is
crema,
gelatinous.
Good word.
Gelatinous. But yeah, we actually went with S.
Yeah.
It was the night that I want to say like the Buckeyes lost to Iowa or beat Iowa.
Or Purdue or Iowa, something like that.
Yeah.
When Urban was there, and they just had a couple of inexplicable
It may
losses.
have been. Was it Purdue?
They got housed by Purdue with
No, it wasn't a
Rondale Moore,
housing.
and they got housed by Iowa
maybe it
at
was.
Iowa. Those are the two non-conference games. They're like, wait, what?
Okay. And yeah, I ordered a clam chowder, and it blew Miss K's mind. She just could
I think
not
it's fair.
get- And I hadn't ordered a clam chowder. We were at Pier W, which kind of felt like a San Francisco-y place to me. So I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was not happy at all.
Like, you've lied to me.
Like, what do you mean? Yeah. Like,
How's this possible?
How's it possible? Yeah.
I think she has a fair beef.
So I've only had a clam chowder once probably in the last
Have you ever had
decade.
it in Manhattan? I've never even seen it on a menu.
I don't know.
Never seen
And
it.
I don't
never
even
heard of
like it.
So like in Ventura when he goes the Manhattan clam chowder's at the red or the white. I'll never remember that. Like
it's the red.
Who's
baby.
ever had Manhattan clam
I've never
chowder?
had it.
I've never had it. I've never seen it on a menu.
The other thing when I was a kid, my dad. There was a while where I was and I ate a lot of soups. I've always been a soup fan.
soup
but
guy,
there
yeah.
was a ton of Progresso in the house. You know?
Yeah.
And so that one of the in the rotations would always be a clam chowder, but we would put. I think they would put sherry in it.
Probably
a little sherry in it, and then a little heat and a lot of pepper.
Yeah, heavy pepper grind always works on a clam chowder.
Gots to.
You got to have that. Got to have that in there.
Yeah.
Little crackers, the little shell crackers you put in
Oyster
there.
crackers.
Oyster crackers. Those are wins. All right, there you go.
They're not
coming up
wins.
next. Your keys to the victory on Sunday. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Boost your game day this season with Ballybet Sportsbook app. Place your first bet of $25 or more. You get $100 and $50 back in bonus bets. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time for your keys to the game down in Jacksonville. Before we get to that, the Sunday forecast, Everbank Stadium Sunday kickoff, a high of 82 with an 80% chance of rain and a humidity level of 750,000%. So that's the official number on the humidity. That seems really wet.
High.
That seems wet. Yeah, a little wet.
Yeah, that seems
moist.
high.
Moist.
I mean, tomorrow, I think you might be able to pull this off and get a wedge and go hit.
All right, here's what I'm saying, though. How's that going to go?
Yeah, there's people on the course.
Right.
Yeah, it's not.
People
it's
are
going to
be playing, so you're not going to be able to just.
I don't know if people are going to be playing.
People are going to be playing.
Hold
it's a
on.
public, legendary track. I'm guessing every tee time is booked.
There's horrible weather till 3:00.
It's been raining all week.
No, I understand, but
So,
people
like, maybe
travel
by
to go
that
to that
point,
course
they're like,
on a Saturday. How many? I bet there's a ton of Ohioans playing that course. Made a little trip.
Yeah.
Fly down there today. Try
I
and
think I'd
play
have
tomorrow.
a better shot at 7:30. Like,
I think you could maybe at like dusk. The
Yeah,
problem
the
is
dusk.
it's 17. So if it were 6, probably nobody out there.
I
At
definitely would
17,
have.
you're gonna have to let
You
people
time. Be like,
let
go ahead,
people
you hit. I'll sit on
play
the bench
through and you hang out, and then the other guy
I just
hits
hit
and
whenever
then
I
you
feel
go.
like it.
Yeah.
I know that there's tons of stuff all weekend with Browns backers. There's a beach party on Saturday. Saturday night there's a party, and I believe Big Play Gare is going to come to that.
Big Play Gare?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, baby.
Well, I know this is, big military town. Previtz is in the mix down there. He's got his things operating.
The USS Cleveland's crew will be in attendance.
We'll be there. So that's very cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
So
yeah.
I think there will be a lot of Browns fans. Was there a lot of Cowboys fans in the stadium?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there?
They travel well.
They always do.
Yeah.
I think they just have,
it doesn't matter. They're going to find their way in.
Yeah. And they'll write the checks if people still do that. All right, your keys to the game. For that, we go to Dr. Z.
Obviously, we want a very different outcome for the Cleveland Browns. And if you are to have a different outcome for the Cleveland Browns, it is very clear offensively you need to be better on first down. I think that is the biggest key to this game. Put yourself in good down and distance situations. If you do not do that, you will have a tough time protecting Deshaun Watson from Josh Hines-Allen, Eric Armstead, Hamilton, and Trevon Walker. They can get after the quarterback. Roy Robertson-Harris is probably their pass down defensive tackle. He had a career-high 3.5 sacks a year ago. He's had at least 3 sacks 3 straight seasons. They can get after you. So you've got to put yourself in good situations so that you have time to throw the football and attack their depleted secondary. That is absolutely going to be so critical this game. Eliminate those penalties. 10 of the 11 penalties the Browns had were on offense. Eliminate those penalties. Cannot have that again. So clean on offense, good on early downs. Take care of the football. Can't lose a turnover battle like you did last week by 2, and you'll be good. Defensively, I think it is very important to limit the ground game of Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. They combined last week for 117 yards rushing and a touchdown, 24 carries for those 117 yards. You have to limit that because that helps make Trevor Lawrence become one-dimensional. And you've got to watch out for the big plays. Trevor Lawrence is good at throwing the ball more than 20 yards in the air. Top 5 in the league last year in every metric for those type of throws. And we saw Dak Prescott was able to hit that over-the-top shot in the game against us. Limit those big plays, stop the run, and force Lawrence to be in those third and long situations because he is not good like most quarterbacks under pressure. Under pressure, his completion percentage drops by about 30% relative to operating from a clean pocket. That will be critical in this football game. And then I mentioned earlier, take care of the ball, turnover battle. Got to at least be net neutral. You got to at least be net neutral on special teams. You cannot have another play like that. And the defense needs to take away the football. This is a game where you got to take the football away and kind of give some spark, give some momentum to this team. The Jags, they were just 2 of 10 on third downs in week 1. The Browns, the best third down defense, but they haven't been that on the road yet, but we need to see them do that.
There you go. Those are your keys to victory. Before we get to the scores, Bruce Feldman, we've had Bruce on before on the program. Good dude. Does a lot of college football stuff in terms of rosters. So he just put out a tweet. The states with the most NFL players per state, by state. So the top 3 I don't think would surprise anybody, right? It's Texas, Florida, and California. Texas has the most, 190 NFL players from the state of Texas. Florida is second with 176, and then California is third with 168. What is your best guess on what is fourth?
Ohio.
So Texas, Florida, California, 1, 2, 3.
Or Georgia.
Jordan said Georgia.
Jordan would be right. Your second guess would have been right. What's amazing is it's not even particularly close. Georgia's 146, okay? Ohio is 65. So twice as many NFL players from Georgia, more than twice as many players from Georgia as Ohio, despite having more population in Georgia than there is in Ohio. Furthermore, and this is when you speak about SEC dominance and all of that, Alabama only has 6 less players in the NFL than the state of Ohio, with not even half the population. A little over 5.5 million people live in Alabama.
Where's Louisiana?
And yet they have Louisiana is one below Alabama at 58 NFL players.
So it goes the gap from Georgia to Ohio. Ohio's next after Georgia?
No, North Carolina's next after Georgia. They have 74, which is exactly half of Georgia's.
Wow.
So the big four, Texas 190, 176 Florida, California 168, Georgia 146, then North Carolina 74, and then Ohio at 65, Alabama 59, Louisiana 58. So that's the top 10-ish, 9 or 10, whatever I have there.
Mississippi and
Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania 54, 50, 48, wow. Maryland 47. Think about that.
Wow.
47.
No
Maryland.
Arizona?
New Jersey is 46, Virginia, Mississippi, Missouri, South Carolina, Tennessee, Arizona, Indiana. Arizona and Indiana put out the same amount of high school talent.
How about, did you say New York State?
I did not. There's no high school football there, though. There really isn't. They don't have it. I mean, there's hardly any. If they do, they go to New Jersey. They play at those preps like Don Bosco Prep, and they go there and they play. They don't play. They don't play in the city. I mean, I think in all the time that I covered Ohio State, only Curtis Samuel was the only one I remember who was from like New York.
Yeah,
was
New
Curtis
York
Samuel? Almost
basketball,
none.
sure, but not football.
Yeah, they just don't have it. But I think that explains when people say like, "How did this SEC thing happen?" That's how. I mean, the state of Mississippi with 30, like there's no population in that state.
Yep.
It's 33, like Louisiana, Alabama, much smaller states in Ohio, and they're nipping at the heels of the Buckeye State, and Georgia has less and is more than double the amount of talent. Like that's why when I was down there and doing the high school football stuff, and it was like everyone would say like, God, Georgia is a sleeping giant. It's a sleeping giant. And now Kirby Smart's there, and he woke the damn thing up. That's the way it works. All right, we'll play a little game we like to call You Have to Pay Attention to the Scores. It's coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Fill your game day cooler with refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, hard iced tea, smooth, real brewed tea with a 5% kick of alcohol. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Time for week 2 of a little segment we like to call Pay Attention
to the Score.
To the scores.
All right. Week 1, still a winning week for us. Combined 2 games over 500.
Barely.
I was 9-7. You were 8-8.
Okay, that's still 500 or better.
Yeah.
Come on,
Tough
now.
week though.
And after
brutal stretch in the 1:00 games for your Uncle Bo.
And after we told you exactly,
Told you what was
laid
gonna
out
happen.
what was going to happen last night.
Laid it out for you.
Just said it. Bills by a billion.
Play the audio.
I love how you
tape.
both look at me.
Play the tape, Gibby.
Why are you looking at me? Why don't you look at your audience?
Listen.
The audio's the audio.
The audio's the audio, but it was a Thursday.
Hey,
come on.
Hey. Come on.
It's a big night for the voice.
By the way,
Rod Stewart,
tonight.
Billy Joel.
Oh, is this it?
Billy and Rod tonight.
Come on.
One night only, baby.
9 months in the making.
How in the hell do I not have a luxury box for the amount of times that we did the Billy and Rod one night only read?
Maybe we can work that out.
We might know a few people.
I mean, holy cow. They had to pick me up, Learjet me from Hudson downtown. There's 1,000 of those reads.
I can't begin to know how many reads that we did for this.
8.4.
It was the the reads that I've done on this show that are.
Swag is just walking through pointing.
He's pointing at everybody like
everybody.
I'm like, there's no one here. We might be the only ones left in this building.
He walked through and then he looked back through the doorway. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So he's pointing over there. Then he peeked back through to point at us from there. Oh gosh! Tonight is Billy and Rod.
Billy and Rod.
Tonight.
Oh,
one night only.
Billy and Rod.
One night.
Oh my God! It's just tonight. Well, you got a great night for it.
It could not be better.
No.
The weather is perfect. It's going to be. I will say this: give yourself time to get downtown. Guards play downtown tonight. There's a concert at the Romo.
What?
At Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Closing roads down here too.
What's that?
Like East 9th. East 9th is going to be very difficult to navigate. So I was just about to say that, Gibbs. Take your time getting downtown.
Who's at Rocket Mortgage tonight?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
I found out Dan Murphy's a big fan, and I was like, "What?" I don't know. It was someone I did not see Dan Murphy being a diehard fan of.
All right. Well, there you go. Billy and Rod.
Billy and
tonight,
Rod
baby.
tonight.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki
Nicki
Minaj.
Minaj is in town?
Yeah.
Baby.
Downtown is going to be off.
Minaj.
The people that are coming downtown tonight.
Test of all tests, if you ask me.
It is
No doubt.
every genre of human.
Yeah, that's a melting pot
downtown.
down there, brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the big one is Billy and Rod.
Billy
Tickets
and Rod.
still available.
Well, depends on your definition.
Billy and Rod. Yeah, no. Definitely not.
All right, let's get down to it. Week 2 in the National Football League, and we go to the land of beer and cheese curds. The Green Bay Packers, and one of the finest beers known to mankind, the Packers playing host to Yellowstone. Yellowstone trying to get off the schneid at 0-1. The Packers with I don't even know who's playing quarterback for them, but he sucks.
Remember we were in the undisclosed location at Gibby? It was like his summer cottage, and you open up the refrigerator and he had spotted cows.
That's it. That's it. I had a whole case.
Condiments.
Like some
there were
ketchup.
Like dogs and buns.
And then he just had all of his
cookouts.
beers.
We had cookouts.
Well, you did.
Yeah, we did not.
Summer of Gibby. Summer of Gibby. It was unbelievable.
God, I missed that Cotto.
Yeah, you did. It was great. It was great. Look, am I going first?
Actually, Zagura this week because Bo went first last week.
Very good.
All right. Starting with this one, I'm going with the Yellowstones. Malik Willis is not ready to play quarterback in the National Football League. I don't believe at all. And Indy's got some talent. Richardson's going to make some big plays. I don't like going with Green Bay. I think is a frisky home dog, and it just feels like one of those where it'd be who wouldn't take Indianapolis in this one. But sometimes the guy's just not capable of throwing the football. And Malik Willis, remember, they got him late. It's not like he's even been there all offseason. Colts 70, Packers -13.
I think they had an extra day, which helps. I think LaFleur's a great coach. I love the rest of their roster. I think they muck it up, muddy it up. I could see your boy Richardson throwing a couple of picks because he is wildly inaccurate and intermediate and underneath throws. I will take Green Bay, and I will take the Packers winning this one outright 6-5.
Wow.
Ugh.
6-5.
Onward we go. The best part of the Vegas game last week was the brouhaha with the L.A. Chargers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Vegas put up 10 points.
Can we also stop fighting at football games?
Humans in general?
Yes.
Or just,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Sucks.
I mean, that one, some guy was trying to break up the fight and got really messed up.
Look, it's
what are we doing fighting?
Dude, I told you that. I mean,
let's hug each other.
There's this thing I saw this from, was it Ed Sheeran said something about this, about like in England or whatever, like you'd go have a pint or two and like just enjoy a beer and then go home for the night. All right, I see you tomorrow. And he's like, in America, it's like, how many Red Bull vodkas can I pound?
Yeah.
And that's like Sunday football. There's a gross majority of people that go to get hammered, and then when that comes into a stadium, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's just a mess. Like drunk in public is not a good look on anyone.
No.
Handle your business.
So the Raiders looking to get their first win of the year and going to Baltimore, the land of crab cakes and Lamar. Lamar, after the tough Thursday night loss to Kansas City, hosting Vegas, Bo.
I don't love this. In fact, on my other one, I went the other way. But this, I just keep looking at this, and I just think, like, that's such a big number. Like, wouldn't everybody just take it because it's safe, like, to take that? But then I think, all right, you're off since Thursday. They actually played pretty good offensively. It feels like one that they handle, like, 23-10. So I'll take the Ravens 23-10. I don't love it, though.
Zagura.
Yeah, this one's interesting. You know who's all over the Raiders? The public.
Yeah.
All over. I mean, shockingly a large amount.
Yeah.
I think that the Ravens make a statement here. They're very good at home. I could see them smoking them. I am concerned about Minshew to Devontae for a little backdoor action, but I'm going with the Ravens as well. Huge. Ravens, real score, real talk, 77-1.
Jeez.
There was a college game last night that was like 87-10.
Man.
Fantastic.
Onward we go. Game number 3 on Sunday Fun Day. Los Angeles, the Chargers, heading east to battle arguably the worst team in the National Football League, the Carolina Panthers. This number should be a lot bigger than what it is.
I'm done taking the Panthers.
Same. I'm not doing it.
Not doing it. Won't do it. Now, Harbaugh needs to chill out, not beat his quarterback up so much before the game. Just let him go out there and play football. But Dobbins and Edwards, I think, run wild. Herbert's efficient. Their defense suffocates Bryce Young. I like the Chargers in this one. Chargers 6, Carolina 0.
Say
to Big D and Dallas. Fresh off the win over us last week, Dallas opens the home portion of their schedule against the New Orleans Saints. Saints, obviously, with the thumping of Carolina. We'll find out what the Saints are made of on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Bo Bishop.
I would not be involved in this one. I do not have a good feel on this. New Orleans looked really good, but they played an awful team. Derek Carr was really aggressive down the field. Dallas obviously looked great against us, but we did not play to our level at all. They're at home. It's 6. I think they can win by a touchdown. I don't love it, though. I'll take the Cowboys 31-21.
You don't like any of these here.
No, I don't like this week. I think these are really tricky.
Same. Do you know that this one opened up as Dallas -8? It has been bet down to Dallas -6. 92% of the public is on the Saints. Wow. 92% of the public on the Saints.
I don't know, man.
That's no way.
Not
Dallas.
good there, yeah.
Dallas.
Huge. NFC East action and a candidate for the inmate game of the week.
Jeez.
The New York Football Giants. Malik Neighbors officially cleared for action on Sunday. They travel to Washington to battle the Commanders.
Dr.
Zagura.
This one is another like 90% public on the G-men. I don't get that at all.
Your quarterback
no part
sucks.
of that. Yeah, no way.
No
Give
way.
me Washington. Dan Quinn at home. Give me the Commanders. Commies win this one 3-0.
Commies by $1 billion. Yeah, I'm with you.
Or we'll take 3.
Three would do it.
Two
yeah.
even.
But
That's
I think
fine.
it'll be $1 billion.
All right. Up next, we go to Nashtucky and the Tennessee Titans playing host to Aaron Rodgers
Really Nash Vegas.
and the New York
Vegas,
Football
yeah.
Jets. I was trying to figure out. I'm like, everybody will have had a home game by week 3. Not the case.
Not the Jets.
The Jets working their way closer to home. Jets at Titans. Bo Bishop.
I think the Jets are actually pretty good, and I don't think that Tennessee is.
Same.
Will Levis was a disaster, wildly inaccurate, and if he didn't have the elite traits, he's probably not in the league. Am I shorting?
Yeah, you're. Yeah.
No,
How am
you're
I
fine.
shorting? You got me okay?
Yeah, you're good now.
Now we're good?
Yep.
Yeah, I got Rodgers, big bounce back. Brees Hall, big bounce back. Garrett Wilson, he actually throws to the right side of the field this time. I like the
Maybe.
Jets. The Jets 81, Tennessee 2.
Same. The Jets going to get right. Big game for Garrett Wilson. Big game Brees Hall. Big game for Rodgers. Tyler Conklin, probably not a big game. Sad.
Hate to see it.
You do hate to see it, actually.
The Pedros, the Fighting Pedros, the Niners, heading to Minnesota. Vikings, 49ers, a 1 o'clock game. Again, all these West Coast teams traveling east that
They
are
are,
playing
yeah.
at 1 o'clock. Not doing them any favors. No Jordan Addison for the Vikings. Sam Darnold tries to keep the magic going. Nathaniel, your pick.
Niners. Sam Darnold knows the Niners well. He was with them for a time. They just don't have the firepower to keep up with the Niners. The Niners are a dominant football team. I could see him take the gas off a little bit, and you get worried. Is there a Jefferson backdoor late in this game? But I'm not too worried about it. I'm going Niners huge. 51-17.
We know there will not be a Jordan Addison backdoor because he's sitting this one out,
Yep.
so even less weapons for Minnesota. It doesn't matter if McCaffrey plays or not. Mason could run for 150. Niners by $1 billion. Pedros.
Nate, coffee.
Nate.
Spumoni, Nate.
Watch you drink my coffee.
Sit there and watch the coffee. Have some egg salad.
Oh, God. Gross. Disgusting.
Even when you were trying to do like all your muscle mass, did you ever consider a raw egg, like how they do? Like they do like the raw egg drink?
The Rocky,
Yeah.
No.
Imagine sucking that down?
No.
The viscosity?
What would it cost? What would it take for
That
you
makes
to
me
do
a
that?
gag, and I like eggs. That would be just
Disgusting.
gross.
Yeah, no.
Another candidate for the inmate game of the week, but not the inmate game of the week. Seattle traveling east to battle the New England Patriots. The 1-0 New England Patriots, Bo Bishop.
I mean, I think their team is brutal, but I think Jacoby Brissett is more than capable, and I think it's Seattle going all the way across the country. I would not be surprised if New England won. I could see Seattle winning a close one in this one, though. I don't think it's who New England is, but new coach. They're playing fired up. I like New England winning this one 11-10.
Real barn burner.
I don't see that happening here. Too many weapons on the Seattle side. They can put too many points up on the board, and I think they will do that in this game. The Bengals with Chase, and they had the very good corner with Christian Gonzalez, I think is his name for New England, kind of followed him around. If they take out DK, you still have Lockett. You still have Jackson Smith and Jigba. You got Kenneth Walker. Too many weapons. Seattle, too good. They win this one. Not pretty at all, but they get it done 11-7.
11-7.
Seahawk roll.
11-10 and 11-7.
On a
All
roll,
right.
yeah.
Final 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Maybe the biggest head scratcher from a score standpoint. The Detroit Lions playing host to Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Honestly, if this game was Tampa +4, I'd be more inclined to take Tampa than it is at 7.5. I know it doesn't logically make sense, but in my mind, this line seems out of left field huge, and so it feels too obvious. This must be a Detroit beatdown in the offing. That's what it feels like, and so I'm going to say it. Just like they did in the playoffs, the Lions get the win, but this time they get it huge, 40-12.
God, what a day that'll be on DLD Monday.
DLD.
Goff will stop by.
2-0.
Jameer Gibbs. Dan Campbell's going to be
Jamison
crushing
Williams,
wings.
you guys have believed in me for 2 years. You've said it over and over,
God.
and now here I am.
Same.
On to the 4 o'clock games. This one, again, I'm not sure what's going on here, but the Los Angeles Rams. Ramit heads to Zona. Barrio Queen and company welcoming in Los Angeles. Bo Bishop.
Ramit. No Puka. No offensive line. No problem.
Ramit.
Sounds like what a great call after the Browns won Week 5 against the 49ers a year ago.
It does.
Yeah, it sounds just like that
just
one.
like that.
I have to disagree. I like what I saw from Arizona. They're going to get Marvin Harrison involved. They've got a good offense. Gannon's a good coach. They're tough at home. They can get after the quarterback. As you mentioned, that line is no.
Does the quarterback like the new wide receiver?
They're not. That was just part of what I'm talking about right now. I bet they had a better record at home than on the road last year. Let's see. Hold on.
Who knows?
Hold on.
Who knows? I mean, it could be.
Not me. Arizona.
Hurry, we got 2 minutes.
You treated that like it was Georgia between the hedges. That's really tough to go into Sanford Stadium. No idea if Arizona's good at home or not.
All right, Arizona in 2023, they went 4-13. 1, 2.
Get there. Come on.
2 wins at home. But they're going to get another one. Good at home. They beat the Cowboys at home last year. They beat the Falcons at home last year, and they're going to beat the Rams.
Up next,
22-20.
Up next, it's America's Game of the Week. It is the Bengals traveling to Kansas City. No Hollywood Brown officially put on the IR.
I think he's
T.
out for the
Higgins
year.
did not practice today. He is officially doubtful for Sunday. Nate.
Come on, man.
Come on, let's go.
Come on. It feels like they're going to push the panic button, but they won't need to after this game because their schedule gets a lot easier. Chiefs 33, Bengals 16.
I have a same situation. Yep, Kansas City.
Next is the inmate game of the week simply because I hate the Steelers and I hate the horse face. Pittsburgh traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Bishop.
I could see him winning by 6 field goals to 4. Pittsburgh.
Chris Boswell boots it through the uprights. The Steelers get the win 21-20.
Oh, my gosh. You rarely see that on that type of a score. Pay attention,
High
kids.
altitude.
Pay attention.
Sunday Night Foosball. Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, both questionable. Bears traveling to Houston. Sunday Night Football. I bet they're going to have a fantastic spread for that game.
Oh, that's the best press box in the league.
Generals there.
Yeah. He's an employee now, isn't he?
Yeah. Nathan.
I think he's an employee that is working for free. Said he doesn't charge for any of his articles. But I think he also could be saying
he probably
that
gets like press passes and flies and has fun.
HoustonTexans.com is not behind a paywall, so I don't know.
He's on the wall.
I mean, he's a legend. He's a legend.
Yeah.
Texans win this one easily. Late in the fourth, they're going to be up like 30-18, and then just meaningless. Here's DJ Moore for his 3rd touchdown of the game, hopefully.
Same.
And that ends up being Houston 30, Bears 24.
Same thing they did last week with Indy. They're up 9. They give up a nonsense, and all of a sudden it's 2. We'll get you our score coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Sunday, University Hospital, Cleveland Browns Radio Network, 9 o'clock. Ken and Gerard, Browns Game Day, 11 o'clock. Andy and Tyvus, Browns Kickoff Show at 1 o'clock. Z, Siciliano, and Gerard on the kick. How do you see it, buddy?
Got to be better on first downs. I think the Browns will be. They're just so depleted in Jacksonville. Browns defense going to come through. Watson going to do enough. Browns find a way. They pull this one out 24-17 in Jacksonville and get to 1-1.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Was I on? Let's go.
Let's go.
Shorting out. Next level's next. Victory Monday coming up on Monday. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.